Hello again, everyone, and welcome to day 16 of Unveiling the Civility Advent Calendar 2019 series. I cannot overemphasize my appreciation to you all for your likes, your comments, and your shares. Do keep them coming. I really do appreciate them. Thank you once again. And so, for the benefit of those who are watching for the very first time, I did mention when I started the series that the nuggets this year will be taken from a book by Dr. P.M. Funny called Choosing Civility. And so we've been on the 25 rules of considerate conduct, and today we're talking about the 16th rule, I beg your pardon. And the 16th rule is apologize earnestly. Apologize earnestly. There's a quote here I would like to read out to you before we go into what Dr. Funny has to say. And the quote goes, "Most apologies are gestures of empathy. They express regrets for offending someone else's feelings or concerns. Apologizing implies that you are aware of the feelings of another and can empathize sufficiently to regret having injured that person." And that quote is by Jankelovich. Okay, so Dr. Funny here did mention that we ought to apologize because it's the decent thing to do when we are on the wrong or we are aware that we have offended someone. He did mention that we need to take note that we don't assume that because we apologize all the time, we are civil. And it said this, stressing that what is important as far as civility is concerned is to continue to walk on the path where we are more aware of people's feelings and we are more conscious of how we deal with people. In so doing, he did say that we will minimize apologies because then we now understand how to minimize upsetting people, because then we can read people's feelings. We understand, we're aware of what is appropriate behavior and what is not, and then we can minimize having to apologize. So let's take note. But then, having said that, we will have occasions where we do upset people, whether known to us or unknown. But then what is most important at this point now is that our apologies must come from a sincere place. It did mention that sometimes, we apologize and the apology is one that will be termed as a sham apology. Reason being, we are apologizing in one face, on the other leg, we're trying to justify our behavior. So it did mention that apologizing is not for you to try and give any explanation of why you did that, which sometimes you get, because someone might come to you, for instance, and say, "I'm so sorry I shouted at you earlier. It was because I was in a bad mood." Now you just messed it up. If you just mentioned you were apologizing for shouting at them and you were really sorry because you know that you've hurt their feelings by doing that, that would have just been brilliant. Having to say that you were not in a good mood means you're justifying why you did what you did. And so that's not sincere. The civil way to treat it is to apologize sincerely, one, taking responsibility for whatever your actions have been that led to you flaring up or doing whatever it is that you did, and sincerely conveying your apologies based on what exactly you did wrong. And moving on. He also mentioned there are times that we apologize even though we did whatever we did, knowing that we would do what we did. So a good example, for instance, which I'm sure a few of us will probably be guilty of, is you standing at the till and then the checker is checking you out, and all of a sudden you remember a shopping that you should have picked, and then you excuse yourself, you run to the aisle before the checker even gets to say whether you're allowed or not, and then you come back and apologize to the people waiting, and this is what you have to say. I'm really sorry, I do appreciate your patience. Now, that is like a slap on their face, because what you've just done is to justify your action and appreciate their patience. And so he's saying to us, don't do that. So why in the first place would you leave the people when you know it's not right and then come back apologizing? So he says the civil way is just check out and go back on the queue. I've been guilty of that in time past, and I recollect the last time I was going to do the same, I had to say to myself, books, no, people are waiting. So yes, let's continue to improve every day. That's what's key, and that's what civility is all about. It's not about being perfect. It's about working towards understanding people better and treating people better than we probably did in time past. So I would want to say good night, but I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow whilst we talk about Rule 17, and I do wish you a happy night rest. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Thank you very much, and I do hope you would go about apologizing and being sincere with your apologies when you do that. Have a wonderful night rest. It's me again, Buki Odushote. Thank you.